Hello, this is Jill Slinker of the Indiana Association of School Principals, Department of Student Programming. We are ready to begin the seminar on the Global Issues Problem Solving Step 4. And here's Marianne Rutledge.
We all use criteria every day. For instance, if you're going to buy a present for your mother, you want it to be something that will make her happy or she will enjoy, but you also have to think about how much it's going to cost. The same thing is true in FPS. We've come up with a lot of solutions, and now we want to find out which one is really our best. The characteristics that will help us make the decision are the criteria. We want to aim for targeted criteria. That means it is specific to our underlying problem. And it will measure how well the solution idea does with doing that idea in the UP. Stock criteria, on the other hand, could relate to any underlying problem. How to get to the target. First of all, your first criteria should be dealing with your key verb phrase, which will most effectively do that. Your second one should address your purpose. If you do that, you're going to get all the points possible for 1 and 2. Then you come up with 3 more that you think are other important factors. Implementation time. Obviously, we would like to start improving the situation as soon as possible. Least expensive to implement. I'm afraid that some people, when they use that superlative, I've actually seen teams say, which will be the most expensive to implement, thinking that that's going to help them, but it doesn't, as you will see when you get ready to start ranking. Safety, which is the safest. The longest lasting effect, because we don't want to come back and have to deal with this problem anytime soon. And public acceptance. If people aren't going to be willing to comply, there's a problem. So we want to see how well it will be accepted as another possible factor. In each criterion, you want to add unique words and phrases so that it is only going to go with this future scene and this topic. Again, there are some guidelines that kind of help you do that. The first thing is which solution will is at the beginning, and it needs to have a superlative: most, best, longest lasting, least expensive, greatest, etc. Good English lesson on superlatives. Measure only one dimension. Do not use and anywhere in this solution part. Indicate the desired outcome for the solutions, like easiest to implement and most acceptable to the citizens. The criteria for scoring it is something that will help you in teaching your students. Generic gets 1 point because it could apply to any topic, any UP. Modified will get 2 points. A generic criterion with the addition of important details means it only is going to work for this one. Advanced criteria is what we're going to be aiming toward, especially in our middle and senior divisions. It's based on the KVP with a condition clause at the beginning. It's based on the purpose with a condition clause at the beginning. It is specific to the topic and fuzzy with unique content. Obviously, research and ideas from the fuzzy. Now we'll start with some examples for the junior teams. Which solution will, notice I put that in parentheses and you'll see why in just a moment. Which solution will best reduce the chance of drinking unsafe water while our family is living in Monterey? The next time you can see, oh, that was the key verb phrase. This next one has just the capital letters. You can do that once you've shown what that abbreviation means. Saves time. Which solution will best help our family stay healthy this summer when we are living in Monterey? The purpose. Now we have to pick 3 others, and unfortunately, cost is always going to be a factor in that. Which solution will cost the least to provide safe drinking water for us while our family is traveling in Mexico? Which solution will be the easiest to implement so that we are less likely to drink unsafe water on this trip to Mexico? Which solution will have the longest lasting effect on providing safe water for our family this summer in Mexico? Now let's look at how you go from generic to qualified. The generic criteria, which solution will cost the least to implement, is going to get 1 point. Modified has more detail. Which solution will cost the least to reduce the chances of our family drinking unsafe water in Monterey? 2 points. But qualified is going to get 3 points. Since our family will only be in Monterey for the summer, which solution will be the most cost-effective to reduce our chances of drinking unsafe water? You see the difference? We've got a condition clause at the beginning. We're only going to be there for a short time. And some of the solutions might cost a lot of money. I want the most I can get for the best price. So cost the least and cost effective need to be explained to the students so they'll understand. Cost effective means I'm getting what I need, but I'm not paying more than I should. Obviously, if it's very expensive and you're going to use it for 2 months, you don't want something that is $5,000. The middle and senior teams are going to be using that condition clause, as you will see. Since the calamite seeds are being transported from labs in New Atlantis to the Santa Elena Cloud Forest Preserve, which solution will provide the smoothest transition for calamites into the new environment? You found the KVP, but it followed the condition clause. Can't be used for any other fuzzy. Since the recently discovered horsetail fossil had survived about 300 million years, which solution will allow this reanimated species to have the best opportunity to thrive in the reserve? Since the most experienced botanists, genetic engineers, and biosecurity experts from around the world will be working on the reanimation of calamites, the project's going to be expensive. Notice it was a complete sentence for that condition clause. Which solution will cost the least for the GCDT to implement this bold plan? And now the ones, because botanists will need time, the extra one, because botanists will need time to extract DNA and begin the reanimation process of the calamite species, which solution will take the least amount of time to reintroduce these plants in the rainforest in Costa Rica? Notice how we're trying to put in specific keywords from the future scene. Genetic modification is still a controversial topic in 2015. The research talked about that controversy. Since improving the plant's viability will require the scientists to modify the genes to increase pollen production, which solution will be the most acceptable to the citizens of the world?
And that is the end of step 4. These are great examples that you can use with your own students. We are going to continue on with step 5 in the next video.